Cottman, Crawford, and the Jersey Guy podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cottman, Crawford, and the Jersey Guy podcast. I'm Kenny Cottman.
I'm Louis Crawford.
And I'm Tom Ramage, the Jersey Guy.
Yeah. So what's going on, gentlemen? How's your weekend? Your week, actually.
Yeah.
Glad it's over.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I'm happy today's my Friday payday.
Nice. St. Patty's Day. Happy
yeah.
birthday to my daughter, Jennifer.
Yes, happy birthday.
St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's.
Shout out to my daughter.
The only thing I got green is envy. I envy you guys. Yeah, I'm lying. Whatever. Fuck that shit.
Don't you remember?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad everybody had
I stopped doing that. You gotta wear green on
Yeah,
St.
no,
Patty's.
listen.
I totally forgot.
Yeah, I did too.
My wardrobe is black and
I figured I don't need to. My daughter's born on St. Patty's Day. I didn't have to.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
I
so,
didn't need to wear it.
yeah. And today is Tom's show.
Yeah, so I am going to, I guess, lead the show today. Yeah.
Yep.
So I have a friend on. He is a musician. His name is Aerik Vaughn. You can say hi to him.
Hello, everybody. I am here.
How you doing?
Doing good. We are here in Pennsylvania,
Yes.
all the way in the deep darks of Pennsylvania.
Well, I wouldn't say
love you,
deep darks, but we're in the beginning of it.
Same difference, listen. Yeah.
in the middle of the woods, where Evil Dead.
Right by the highway.
Yes. So
Okay, so it's not that scary. But
No. Yeah.
so maybe
But it's definitely woodsy enough for Evil Dead, of course.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Listen, I'm
Please don't wish that on me. That's-
No. I'm not wishing on you. I'm leaving anyway.
appreciate
I don't
it.
care. My car goes fast enough. I'm out.
You were saying?
no. So I figured, instead of me just introducing you, because maybe you can tell us about you what you do.
what I do, oh my God. What do I do? If yelling and banging on a tin can with a guitar track over it was a career, I guess that's what I do.
Nice.
No, I've been actively in 2 years. We're doing a special box set for this. Actually, I've been a professional musician. My first show would have in 2 years. It'll be 30 years ago that I started doing this.
Wow.
First show of paid where I got money in hand was 15 years old. So that's when you become a professional, as far as you're
Right.
getting paid.
Of course.
That's cool.
Of course. So, it was weird. I had been in a touring band for many years, and we managed to put out like 3 records. And then over the pandemic, I built a studio and recorded about 27.
Wow.
And actually, it's about 690 songs worth of material that has come out in this period. So all of a sudden, we signed a new record deal, and I'm kind of not touring again because that's just, wife, kids, all of that.
Right, of course.
Too much.
Yeah.
But we're selling more records than ever. Like, we're back in the media. It's a bizarre comeback. I mean, it was totally unexpected.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's great. Congratulations.
At least
That's
the
awesome.
pandemic was good for something, right?
Yeah.
Something good came out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of music?
That's as diverse as the other thing. Like, I have multiple bands. This is where
Okay.
it got weird. I had all these half-recorded demos from projects I've worked with over the years. Like, one was a punk band, one was a metal band, one was like an ambient soundtrack synthwave project. So instead of making one band and recording it all under that,
Right.
I kind of fulfilled the destiny of all these projects and released all these different things under all these different band names. And it became like multiple personality during the pandemic.
Nice.
Like, this week I was this band, this week I was this band. And
Right.
a lot of people didn't realize that there wasn't a whole group of people doing this because there was an album coming out like every 3 months, like a full. And now all the
Right.
albums are getting issued on vinyl, and it's become its own re-industry again that I never. A lot of times you don't get to come back to what you loved that way,
Right.
and
Right.
experience it in a more mature, healthy.
Yeah.
And this has been as much as I'd like to joke about, the state of the business and how ridiculous music is as a concept. It's been a really positive thing to be able to go back and rebuild your legacy. Like, you have almost 25 years of like 3 scattered records recorded in some bum studio in Omaha. And then finally, all the songs you've written over the past 30 years are now out in shiny, high-value production albums. And then,
Right.
yeah, I'm still catching up to it myself. Like, listening to it, like, did did this really happen?
Yeah.
Like, the pandemic, for all the bad things, that void brought me back to the art, if you will. So that's
Right.
What do? I make a lot of records.
That's awesome,
A
though.
lot.
Yeah.
I know you keep sending me stuff.
That's
I'm
a great
like,
talent.
I got new stuff. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, how do you do it all? It's
I
crazy.
don't know. I literally go into trances. I go into the studio, and one of the records took 48 hours.
Wow.
I had all the ideas kind of mapped out. I do it like you know how novelists write a book. I write out the album.
Got it.
I know what it looks like. I know what the album cover is going to look like. I have the lyrics half written, and the music will work around those. But I like to tell stories in the albums. They usually have a thread.
Okay.
So you go in and you hear it, like, the way like you talk to yourself. The music hits me like a self conversation in the morning. Like, oh shit, I gotta go get the eggs. I gotta
I got it.
eat
Yeah.
something. I gotta, but like it's playing in my head. So by the time I sit down, it just comes out all at once.
Nice.
It's really weird.
That's cool. Though.
Hey,
But the band that's getting the most traction now that you do is Lucifer Jones.
Yes, and that
what's it? What is it?
Lucifer Jones.
Okay, awesome. That's a good name. I like that.
Hell yeah.
Funny story. I didn't know this. My bass player and I, we were drunk down in New Orleans. And we were in one of the cemeteries, which is highly illegal.
Right.
Probably could have been killed, because New Orleans is a
Especially
wild.
in New Orleans,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, New Orleans, the cemeteries are like where all the bad things happen.
No shit.
Like you might just run on a big drug dealer or just crackhead something. Like New Orleans is a free for all of chaos. It's a fun city.
Yeah.
but it's a dangerous city. So we're hiding in this cemetery drinking. I look up and spray painted on the wall in red was Lucifer Jones.
No way.
Yeah, it was just there, and I was like, "That's it. That's the band."
That's cool.
Because we had a band name, the Von Frankensteins. I hated it.
Yeah.
But it was a legacy thing. Like, we got stuck with it, and then it's because we had Mr. Jim and the Misfits as the first drummer.
Yeah.
So we wanted a horror punk name. But then Doyle, it was like everybody thought Doyle was in the band. And of course, some people showed up real unhappy being like, I just hated the name. It was so limiting. The Von Frankensteins. Like, everybody expected us to dress up like,
Like Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
In these crazy outfits.
Yeah, and we were not that. So the band collapsed in that lineup, and we got a few new guys, and we needed a name. And of course, we see this thing, and it was like, an omen. Come to find out later, it's some Michael Resnick is a sci-fi author, and he had a character named Lucifer Jones. So everybody thought we took it from him, and I was like, I have no
Yeah. Who?
fucking clue
Right.
Yeah,
what this
right.
guy
Yeah,
is.
yeah. What the fuck you talking about?
So you were able to still use
Oh
it?
yeah,
then?
no. The thing is, it's a performance name. It had never been registered.
Gotcha.
And Michael,
Oh, so it's different. If it's a performance name,
Yeah.
and you can use a movie name. Or
yeah, you can use if you look at all the early songs on Spotify, like 96, 97, I'm 15 years old. I don't have the developed songwriter's brain, so every other song is a reference to like From Dusk Till Dawn and Event Horizon. We were doing the movie thing because when you're 15, you're like,
Right. Yeah. Hell yeah.
You're
you
a
don't
kid.
have that developed mind to take your experiences and tell the stories that way. So you kind of like live through the movies, and
Right.
you have all those teenage emotions, but you
Right.
throw them out in using a horror movie to kind of help you tell your story, because it's like songwriting comes with a lot of steps, you
Right.
know.
Yep.
And going to college, I studied literature a lot, so that helped me learn how to sequence a book. Like a book,
Yeah.
a song has a beginning, a middle, and end. You're telling
A story.
and that's where a lot of current music is losing people.
Right. Yes.
And a lot of heavy metal, especially, is ridiculous because
Right.
it's a lot of riffs, it's a lot of noise, but nobody's trying to bring you. Like, the story has a beginning, you
Right.
want to warm people up, you get into it, and then you have a climax in the middle where everything gets exciting, and then you want to go out on a nice note.
Right.
If you want to write good songs, watch good movies.
There you go.
And then you'll learn
idea.
the timing of how a story is told. But if you're not doing that, your songs are really not going to stand the test of time. Like, look at Black Sabbath, my favorite band ever.
Right.
Their songs still play today
Yes.
as relevant as they did. Unlike a lot of those bands, like even Led Zeppelin sounds a little hokey.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but
Fair
still, they're always. But no matter time, for me anyway, anytime I hear Zeppelin, it's timeless for me.
Yeah,
it's like
no.
that song you
Oh,
can
the
play.
songwriting is
The s-
timeless.
and the songs can just be played. And it didn't matter what year or century it was. You know, I mean, because for everybody else, it's different. For me, it was Zeppelin, and like he said, any other bands that were back in the day, you're like, yeah, that's awesome stuff.
The thing though with Sabbath was the lyrics. I'm going to pinpoint the lyrics. Like Zeppelin lyrics were just blues lyrics that Robert Plant did not rewrite. Mm-hmm. Which ended up coming back to bite him in the ass real bad later.
Right.
Now they have to give co-writing credits. And it's weird, though, because a lot of the co-writing credits they're giving to the bluesmen are somewhat disingenuous because a lot of those blues songs go back even further than those artists.
Right.
Really?
Like Nobody's Fault But Mine, nobody actually knows. And a lot of people were performing that. That was like a folk tune that existed before recordings.
Right.
How old would that song be?
Oh, God.
How far back would that go?
Which song is that?
Nobody's Fault But Mine.
Right.
Which is a great Zeppelin tune.
awesome.
Like
Right.
their version is amazing.
Maybe I don't know it by name. I probably know it by hearing.
But there's bluesmen who are playing that song in like the 40s and 50s.
Really?
Even because look at a guy like Blind Lemon Jefferson. You're going way back.
Yeah.
Like blues lore is one of my favorite things. I love like the history of those early blues artists because it's so shrouded in mystery still. Like Robert Johnson, the first man to sell his soul to the devil for music. It's the greatest story and a great record. But if you go back to those songs that Zeppelin ripped off and then look at the artists who laid claim to them, even they may be somewhat, cashing in on somebody else's work because these songs were passed down.
Right. Okay.
And then the blues artists who record, like Willie Dixon, great bluesman.
Awesome bluesman.
But even he had some ideas that were probably inherited from previous artists.
Of course, isn't that the way it is with life in general? I mean, you're gonna whatever you're expressing is coming from whatever you experienced in your life or at that current moment, right?
This is a little different in that these are actual chord changes and lyrics that were passed out, and then people started trying to, stamp it down for the financials.
Right.
I got
So
you.
if Willie Dixon's claiming some of these riffs, he may be claiming something that somebody else wrote. Then they kept playing it. It's like, imagine Metallica actually got away with this. Great story is that their early stuff, when they recorded what is it?
Kill 'Em All?
No, the one before it, the demo.
No Life Till
No
Leather.
Life Till Leather.
Yeah.
They got the money for that because they played cover songs from obscure British punk bands.
Really?
And nobody knew that they didn't write them. So when they got the record deal, the money, this
That's
guy
funny.
thought he was getting these songs just to find out he got a thrash metal band. He was not happy, apparently.
Wow. Yeah, I love Metallica, bro. I love Metallica, bro. I'm like all over their shit.
They're an amazing band.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I actually really like this new record. A lot of people are not.
The
But-
Metallica.
Aren't they going to be touring soon?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the new album, I
300
like it too. I like the new album.
The thing about it is Metallica is so big at this point that everybody will hate on what they do. They like even Megadeth, and you can see in that feud, like
Yep.
Right.
Dave is a big musician, but Metallica's an institution.
Right.
Right.
They're like apple pie.
My best friend Frankie, who's in Florida right now. Shout out to my boy. He's a big Metallica fan. He would go to the gym, he'd get on the bike, put Metallica
Yeah.
on. He'd be like
Dude.
going to town.
Yeah.
That's
I
how he
blast
would
them
get
in my house,
motivated.
bro. I mess up my neighbors. My neighbors are Spanish, so I'm in there blowing up like just Metallica.
Oh, heavy metal down in South America. My friends in Mayhem are touring down there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you make the money.
Yeah.
Like that, those markets are crazy.
Yep.
Like if we do tour again, we're doing South America and we're going to do Europe. I mean,
Nice.
touring America's rough. The gas prices alone are just making it hard, and it's the venues are now trying to take cuts of your merchandise.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Like, get the
Ah,
fuck out of
shiesty.
here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to make money if I'm doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Go to my website and just buy my buy a t-shirt.
well,
for the
that's
merchandise.
what's been happening, and it's been great.
Yeah.
That's going back to this comeback. It's becoming a completely internet existence.
Oh yeah,
and
it's
That's awesome.
this is the
That's
perfect
what I
time
wanted
for it too.
to talk to you about, because I remember you telling me like how like the industry has changed completely with streaming
Yeah.
and all that, and you're saying like the best, like you were saying like it really that it's pivoted to the point where you need to like stream to like get noticed.
You have
like
to.
it's not like you could just be on the radio and like, oh you know, we're gonna play this random person's thing on the radio and hope to get
We got a
played.
new record for you.
Yeah.
young people go through such TikTok's huge.
Yeah.
Because I do
Right.
25-minute song previews on TikTok, and that drives more traffic than
Right.
any radio is a thing of our time.
Yeah.
Because the attention spans we had, it was controlled also by the industry.
I still listen to
Right.
the radio, but I actually stream it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But our generation grew up with the idea that the music industry provided top-level names to the radio would play the top-level names. Now it's a wide open world. And the
Right.
whole myth of the record industry as we grew up in it still exists. People still like the idea that, oh, we're on a big label. But honestly, you have as much shot sitting in your living room right here, right now, bashing out records.
And not needing a
Metallica.
label, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's
No shit.
Yeah, because today's technology, everything people can do anything now.
Well, you see, so that's why when I say Jimmy Kimmel,
Whatever,
Fallon,
bro.
listen,
Yeah. Okay.
we want to be guests on the show because we're going to be there.
All
man.
right, bro.
So we got an equal shot.
Well, if you get the word out,
He's the optimist.
Yeah.
you need to get PR is everything.
Yeah.
we're there.
I'm going to shout out Katya from Against PR. They have been wonderful.
Uh-huh.
They handle all of our public relations, and
Nice. Okay, well, thanks.
I dislike. I've gotten to a point where like spending a lot of time on the internet promoting myself feels very douchey.
Yeah. I know. I feel you. I get you.
But yeah,
Look at me! Look at me! I'm important.
Right. That's what it is today, though.
A necessary thing, unfortunately, right? I mean,
Yeah.
promotion.
Well, I don't know, but now, so I don't think it's unfortunate only because now you're bringing in kids that didn't know what this was.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because you're reaching a larger
a whole
venue.
other venue.
Yeah.
I can literally play to the same exact media outlets as any band in the world or artist.
Right.
And people see this as a like, oh, it's been ruined. And it's like people have this illusion about the music industry. If you were on a major label, you got 10 cents a CD you sold.
Right.
So if you sold 100 CDs,
Yeah, exactly. Right.
what?
Right.
You're going to go out and have a beer
People
and a
streaming now,
sandwich?
though.
Yeah, you're getting a slice of pizza and that's it.
But if you, and I mean, I get some pretty good checks off streaming. So
Right.
I'm not making a living. I have other work
Right.
that's related to the music industry, but I'm happier that way.
Yeah.
And it's for the time, right? This is the time that
Right,
we're in, you know,
exactly.
and it's just going to keep going in that
Yep.
direction.
Most
I can't
famous
imagine.
bands had day jobs.
Right.
Right, that's
exactly.
true.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen,
Typo negative.
back in the day,
Yeah.
baseball players used to have,
Right.
when it was off season, they would play, they would work, have a job somewhere, whether it was in the place where they lived
yeah.
or and they would have a job and then they would
Yeah,
go
because
back
they
to
weren't making
baseball.
multi-
No, they weren't
Right.
making what they were making.
The
Yeah, how about
Misfits.
now? Yeah.
No.
New Jersey's finest,
Right,
from
right.
Vernon.
Yep.
They own the Exacto factory, the Pro Edge factory.
Oh, no
and
shit.
even
Yeah.
when they were on tour,
Also, it was congruent metal work.
Congruent Metal now.
Yeah,
something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
But
Genius.
But they literally had that factory they inherited, and at the end, I think they had to give it up because of the outsourcing and whatever. You know, they just their business model did not survive.
Right.
like the '90s. You know, it was a
Right.
very. But they, for the most part, they would go on tour and come back and work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that in general, it's a lot healthier to have a civil life while doing this, because if you don't, like there was a period of time that I did anything to avoid working so
Right,
I could
right.
do this, and it was the most mentally unhealthy time of my life
Wow.
because you're self-obsessed. Because if you're putting all of your effort into being a professional musician,
Right.
you're pushing yourself out there in the most desperate, immature way possible, because you're always looking for that, you know, that one thing you could do. You'll never
So
stop.
doing the one thing that you love, you need to at least have some kind of control
Yes.
over that as well.
And if
can't
you have
too
a day
much.
job, you have control.
All right. So you're doing something else. Your mind is not focused only on one thing.
I guess
I
that
get
makes
it.
sense.
I mean, you
Yeah.
know,
Well, that's it. I just wanted to be pretty and famous.
Yeah.
You tell me no.
I heard that you were already, bro. What's
Famous.
going
Pretty,
on?
I'm not famous.
Fame is scary, though. You know, I want my records to be famous. When I was young, I wanted to be famous.
Right, right.
Because I was like, oh, I could get free meals in restaurants. But really, being famous is creepy as hell. Even the slight brushes with whatever fame I had, you always get people involved in your life who are not healthy.
I
hear you.
Yeah, but that's dating too, so I don't know.
You know, I can't imagine though, like people who are like super, super, super famous, where everyone recognizes them. Like you can't be a normal person. Like you can't
lot of
just go grocery shopping, or or you can't just go to a normal place without like being like crowded. Like I don't know who's the most famous like celebrity now. I guess. I don't know.
Harrison Ford doesn't live in California.
No.
He lives
Yeah, he
in
lives
a different state. He
Right.
he just doesn't like being around all that.
But I'm
Work,
sure
a
wherever
lot
he
of stars
goes,
are like
people
that.
still know where he is.
Right,
People
yeah.
still know who he is, though.
He says it's different. because
where he is.
Where-
Yeah, they
yeah,
know.
it's a
Oh,
different-
they know he's Harrison Ford, though,
right.
you
So
know.
it's not made to be every day. Not
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
you know.
Right.
So he's
People in
obviously
those
somewhere he's
small
comfortable.
markets are nicer, though.
Right.
If you're in like a small town, people
Yeah.
because where I work, Ryan Reynolds lives there, Martha Stewart, Michael Douglas, they're all there. Paul Schaefer, you know, it's like the town.
Wow.
I don't live there because
Right,
you know,
right.
I can't afford that town. But I mean, the fact is they like it there though because even the regular people who live there, they don't interfere.
Right.
But when you're in like Los Angeles and New York, there's an unhealthy group of people who always like to be around
Right.
any kind of fame or activity or something that makes them feel more relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And then you draw kind of the most cancerous elements into your life that aren't healthy.
Okay.
And you sometimes, but the thing is, you can't blame them because usually you're as cancerous as the people you bring into your life.
Fair enough.
That's a thing about the music industry is you have to believe that you're so good. You're selling yourself essentially.
Right.
And if you don't
Right.
believe you're that good every time you get on stage, you will suck.
That makes sense.
But then you have to turn it off when you go home and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
becomes harder and harder.
Becomes
and there-
super egotistical. Yeah, it's so easy. Yeah.
And you might have no money. You might be known to thousands of people but have no money and you're just a jerk.
Right.
You know, I hit that point at one point. That's part of why I left the industry. I was like, wow, you have really just lost
Yeah.
the plot here.
Right.
And then I was like, man, you're almost 40. What are you going to do with your life? And that's when I went off to, do the wife and family thing. And it's so much happier because when I do the music now, I can make it. It goes worldwide. I mean, one of our albums is now up to 500,000 plays. Like,
Nice.
That's great.
that's huge for an independent artist doing this with no industry, no tour. But at the same time, the minute I want to turn it off.
So you know who? Now there's a rapper, Chance the Rapper. He did not go and he didn't sign up with any label. He did it just like you're saying, all by himself.
Right.
And he won what a handful of Grammys already.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So it's
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the whole thing has changed. The whole
Yeah.
like he said, everybody has a shot.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's just equal playing ground now because you have the technology is incredible, so it just makes it that way.
Well, look at
TikTok,
us.
Facebook.
Bro, we're sitting here doing this.
I know.
You what I
Yeah.
mean? And
It's
we-
awesome.
we could
I could have
do
never
this.
thought back in the
Yeah.
day us doing something like this.
Yeah. I mean, and then right now, and even for us,
Right.
we just a handful of people, social media, Instagram,
Right.
Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. And we just, every day, it's one more person
Right.
that then talks about us, that talks about you.
Exactly.
And
Right.
that's what, and that's why I'm excited. Like, I love doing this, like this is,
Now you're
We
getting
enjoy it though.
right.
But now I'm in a point where that RAR doesn't become chasing the dragon.
Right, I get you.
Because when I
No.
didn't have that civil life,
Yeah.
it had to continue somehow. So you do it in way, it's women, drugs, whatever
Right.
you want
Right,
to get into.
right.
Right.
And then you just start hanging around that all the time. And you leverage the fact that you're in the band to continue to, hey, man,
right.
I need to keep hanging out, keep me going. Because
Right.
being on stage is great, but that's the only good part of touring. We were talking, here's a funny thing.
Yeah.
He looks at me, because we're driving all the way here, and it's, cow pasture, house,
And it's
house.
beautiful, right?
It's beautiful, but when you're on tour, he's like,
That's what you. Yeah.
I'm like, this is your view of the entire fucking thing. And
Right.
you get to see Peter Steele of Typo Negative said it best. You get to see every diner and bathroom in fucking American Europe.
Yeah.
You don't get to go, oh, I'm on tour, I'm going to go see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's like,
Right.
no, you're playing this town in Italy. You get off,
Yeah.
you pack up, you go to the next town.
Right.
Yep.
And then you got to keep performing well. You're exhausted.
Right.
And if you want to tour, like when we did tours, we'd either like drive in small cars and vans, whatever. And
Yeah.
when you're doing that, that's how you make money. As soon as you want to have a human experience, like I want to eat real food or have
Right.
my own hotel room,
Right.
you've already played a show for free.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You're
it's-
done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See, that's crazy, man. Like I said, I it's wild because like I said, I never thought of that. I never even, I figured, you make the tours, you do this,
Right,
and
making
you're gonna
money.
be, yeah,
Your free time is you're working. You're
Yeah.
working, man.
But
that's what I was
I never
just-
figured that.
Yeah, 'cause on the drive over here, that's why I mentioned to him, like, isn't this like 80% of
Yes, it
tour
is.
life?
Yeah.
But then I said, there's no like you look at bands, you look at their tour dates, and like they're playing in one city, and then the next day they're playing in another city, hundreds of miles away.
Right.
I'm like, how do they have time to break down the set?
They're sleeping on the plane.
And like not even a plane, they're on a bus.
Or a
you know what I'm
bus.
saying? They're
Some of them.
like
Depends on who the band is.
Yeah.
Right.
A bus is a luxury, man.
Yeah.
Like, we never had that.
Yeah.
It was a van, right?
Yeah.
Tour van, yeah.
Tour
But, like,
band from hell. It literally is. Anybody like touring is fun for the first week. And especially towards the end, we weren't capable of touring, but my earlier bands, we used to do a lot of runs. You get in, you take the van. But like the first week, we're in the car, we're having fun, we're drinking, we're partying. And then by the end of the week, you're looking at these guys, you all smell bad.
Right.
yeah.
You're all trapped in, usually the van is set up, you have all the gear on one side. So you got all this gear on one side, and you got a cot. Like, you make it out of blankets.
Right.
So 2 guys are sitting in the front, 1 guy in the back, and 1 guy gets to sleep.
There you go.
And then the amp might roll over and smash your
Nice.
head.
Yeah.
So you're not sleeping real well.
Yeah.
And after 2 weeks of that,
yeah, you're tired.
and you're just stuck. You see your bandmates more than you see. Of course, here's a sad story. My Shane Keel, best friend in the world, 20 years. He died after our sold-out record release show in 2015, which led to me leaving the industry.
Right. Sorry to hear that.
I just lost my mind. But the wages of sin, man. There was no pause.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's a great bartender, great man, but like, that's when I had to rethink everything.
Mhm.
It was a spiral at that point. Like, there was no rudder. Everybody involved with the band was good people, but even the best of my friends, we were all in bad shape.
Mhm.
I had to get away from it. Like, I knew that I was drinking. I was telling him, at one point I was drinking so much, I'd go to the street, trash can, throw up just so I could drink more.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
That's
Just to
I've
not
never
be,
done
and
that.
of course you
That's
start
crazy.
behaving like an idiot,
Right.
and you start making a lot of not friends.
Right, right,
All
right.
your friends start not being your friends
Right.
anymore.
what was a lot of the good stuff though that you did?
I love
enjoyed.
the shows. The shows.
That's got to
were
give you
always
some kind of rush, right? Some kind of high.
It never was a disappointment.
Right? Because that's what you fantasize, stand in front of the mirror with your hairbrush.
2,
When I had
3,
hair.
Boom. The first 3 count is magic.
Mhm.
When you're up there in the lights and you see the lights,
Right.
and you hear that first note.
Yeah, that must be
light
great.
up. And,
Yeah.
And once you get the crowd, if you get the crowd, you can hold them in the palm of your hand, and you just feel them getting more and more excited. And
Right.
Yeah.
we actually did a thing. I used to break a bottle over my head like a pro wrestler.
Oh,
Wow.
And
nice.
there would be blood, and the fans are just.
And it was real glass. It wasn't sugar glass.
No,
Yeah.
no, this was you could Google it. You'll find this. And some nights the blood was bad, but it was so much fun.
Okay.
Because you just see people go, "What the hell?" It was an experience. It was like rock and roll and pro wrestling are very similar.
So should we take that bottle away from you now?
Say again?
Should we take that bottle
No,
away from
no.
you?
Yeah,
I think-
please
I
don't
think
hit yourself
those
with it,
days-
okay?
I think
My
those
wife
days
will
are
not
over.
like that.
I think mine won't.
Yeah. Should blame us. Yeah.
No, I mean those days are long over. I don't think
That's
I could
good.
I don't even think I could do it anymore. If that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you evolve as a person, and I look
Right.
at the person I was then, and it was thrill seeking. It was all addictive thrill seeking, and that's the fun part. When you hit those good shows where you're cruising,
Right.
and you have that crowd in your hand, they're giving
Yeah,
it to
man.
you, you're getting it back.
Your adrenaline must be going.
oh,
That's what I'm saying. That's
and it's
why-
amazing.
Yeah.
That part is the part that everybody will suffer. Like my friends in Mayhem. They're a major touring band. They're part of the Norwegian black metal scene,
Yep.
but they're on the road now. And I know that Ella Morton saying hi to Tellock. I know that the touring thing's rough on him. He hates the flying from Norway all the way to places. I know it breaks him down. But that hour on stage, you can see that's 2 hours on stage, whatever they get, you can see it just lights them up, and it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to give up. I mean, giving that up even now, sometimes you want. I feel the urge to go back, but
Yeah.
I'm not at this point in my career to go back and play like a club show and risk playing in front of 15 people.
right.
Would be it would kill everything I built with the streaming.
Right.
and everything else. Right now, there's kind of a mythology to this weird guy who's just put out 20, 30 albums.
Yeah.
You go out, you play one show to nobody, and then
It hurts your feelings.
that's a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they might be like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So when you're on, like you said, it lights you up when you're up. So what happens when you're done? Like what?
That's the danger zone.
Is that where, like, are you still like manic? Or
Gotta be.
like,
No,
or
you're manic,
Yeah.
but then everybody else goes home and you're still here.
Right.
And you don't want to leave here. And
Yeah.
that's where you start making the bad decisions.
Right. No,
And as
we're
you
all-
get older, I think you can control that a bit more. Because as I
hope
said,
so,
having a
yeah.
family, that's huge for me right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if I ever did tour again, I'd know what I'm going back to.
Right.
You know, there's like a homing beacon.
There's something to look forward to.
Yeah. And
For
I
sure.
think that's very important, especially musicians don't really have a plan. Most guys go into this not thinking about the gray-haired years and the hair falling
Well, you're
out.
not. When, I would imagine. I mean, it's just as a, someone who used to fantasize maybe even being a rock star when I was younger, of course, because it was just something you did when you were a kid.
Right.
That's got to be like a rush within itself, even for a kid.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
adults now, so now you can look at it a little different, have more perspective, and look at it at different angles. When you're a kid, you're like, "Fuck!" This is awesome, man. This is awesome. I can imagine that.
For a lot of the professionals, though, I'm going to use the example of Judas Priest. If you get to know those gentlemen, they're all wonderful guys, but you could tell that they only started to stop being 16 when they stopped touring full time. When they had breaks in the action, they got to explore their more adult lives.
Right, of course.
After 40 years. And
Yeah.
this is not to say that, they were bad guys, but you could tell very much, if you follow the interviews and stuff, that these guys had lived one life from 16 to 45. And then when Halford left the band, you could see that they all started to probably have to sit and go, what do I enjoy?
Right.
What do I like to do with my free time?
Right.
Because this is all I've
Existential
ever done.
crisis. Who am I?
Right. Yeah.
I imagine I'm
Yeah.
sure some figure it out.
But
I bought a house. Do I live in this thing? What do you do with it?
Right.
Well, how does one use a toaster?
Yeah.
I never was. Thank God I was never that successful, but financially, I wish I had.
so like,
Right? Yeah, and that's the other dream too, right?
Right.
like, I always wonder, like, I wonder what switch turns on though for like celebrities, because like I'm sure when you first become big, whether you're a musician or you're a movie star, like you get that rush when like you become famous and like people notice you. But when you get those,
Paparazzi, everything's
like,
happening.
What switches? Is it a switch or is it gradual? Some people just like they fucking.
Some people,
they're
I'm sure,
nasty.
live it, love it.
No, but there's people that just hate it.
Yeah,
and they're like,
and they can't deal with it.
Like just hate any kind of publicity. And like I know we're talking about Harrison Ford. I know he's not big into.
He's just
Hollywood.
one. There's a bunch that do
Yeah.
that now. Like Michael
But some
Keaton,
people-
who was playing Batman, he doesn't live in Hollywood.
No, he lives like
Right.
in Montana.
Yeah,
or some
he's got
shit.
his own.
But-
But there's a lot of them doing it, and they're figuring out it's better for them because. Go ahead,
Like
finish
some
your
people
thought.
just get like if you like approach them in public, they're like just not happy people. Like I wonder when that switch happens. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's pretty built in.
oh,
I
it
mean,
is.
and also
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
younger, I remember when I was like, in the East Village, I could walk around and be recognized in every corner. But as a 43-year-old man, if I were out with my kids and some guy just randomly came up and started yakking at me, I could imagine I'd be pretty like, yo,
Yeah. Upset.
ow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, there's
Right.
space.
Right,
And
yeah, yeah.
I'm lucky that, I'm the most successful I've ever been and the least public,
But
but
that's the thing. So that then
That's
now
good, though.
you're famous musically. Not
famous quotations.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm
There's
saying
no
like,
camera.
Well, yeah, right. But I'm saying like you're famous. Your music is famous. So now
Ish.
you're all right. Fair enough, ish. But you're now recognized for your craft.
Well, you have a following for your music,
Yes,
right? So,
yes.
so you definitely, those who you are. With
and that's
them,
what you
you
want.
are.
Right, but that's what you would as
I
an
like
artist.
that the music has it.
There you go.
I'm at a point, and I think most art. I think this is where a lot of music has suffered. Is that the art of actually creating songs and wanting the song to live forever? Because
Right.
you look at "Stairway to Heaven."
Oh my God,
Everybody
amazing
in
song.
Led Zeppelin's gonna die,
Right.
but that song
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
live on
live
forever.
forever.
One of my favorite songs.
yeah.
It's not-
Every wedding from here till 2060 you're going to hear this song, but that's magic.
Right.
And I never thought about that in the early days, because I just wanted to party and get attention. And, I was an awkward kid, so it was a great way to meet women. I mean, that's it. And I got to meet a lot of them. But the bottom line is, at this point, now that I have my own studio and I'm alone in it, there's no cheers, there's no attention.
Right. Okay.
I really just get to sit and listen to my work and write these songs. But I couldn't imagine, as you said, I think the switch happens when you start getting a civil life.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
If you're a young celebrity like Jack
like
Nicholson in Hollywood and in the 70s, and you're the king of the world, that attention's probably really cool. When you finally realize I'm a human being with interests, a family, a wife, a kids, having strange people come up to you.
Yeah, that's probably
and most people are not cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to be straight about this. Like when people
they want a selfie or they want an autograph.
Right.
But
see, I've seen famous people, and I've never felt felt like I should walk up to them. I was like, for me, it wasn't a comfortable thing for me. I'm like, I don't want to go over there and bother him. He's eating or he's shopping. He's like, right now, he doesn't want to be bothered. This is time to do his shit. You know what I mean?
I see Doyle from the Misfits at Green Life Market sometimes. I've never once said, hey, you're Doyle,
and
man.
That makes you a good person, because what about his life? Here, Paul Heyman, one of my favorite people, the promoter of ECW. He's now a booker in WWE still, but he said entertainment is a quid pro quo industry. They pay Spotify $9.99 a month to hear your song. The transaction is over. You don't owe them any, and it's nice but when people come, it's one thing if you really helped somebody out and you're just being a jerk to not hear their story. But some people think you owe them their time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I paid for your song.
That's weird.
You're a part of my life. And it's like, no.
Yeah, right.
Nobody's a part of your life for that.
Yeah, there's no happy here. Like, I'm not going to rub your back and
But what's weird is like...
We're not friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, pal.
You know what's weird, though, when people walk up to... this probably... Obviously, it doesn't probably have any musicians, or maybe it does for a little bit, but probably so for movie people is they'll start grilling them questions about the movie. What did your character mean when he said this in the movie? It's like, I don't know. I just read the lines and acted the part.
Right, exactly.
And then they get mad when they don't know. How do you not know what going up to Hayden Christensen and asking him questions about Star Wars? He's going to be, he might know some stuff.
But
that's why I would never thought about that.
I look at it where they don't want to.
What do you think Darth Vader meant when he said, it's like...
Yeah. I'm your fucking father. That's what it means.
Yeah, that's right.
Your mother didn't swallow. That's what the fuck.
Oh, God damn.
So wait a minute. It's like all these motherfuckers think they're inside the actor's studio. That guy who used to be like, what was your character thing? No, man. It's like these people. It's like, what you said, people, I do a blog series now on specific songs and what I meant. I think with songwriting, there's a lot more questions to ask. If you're an actor, you're paid to interpret a character.
Yes.
And if you're interpreting that character correctly, you're in it then. But I can guarantee you that nobody who's played Darth Vader goes home and thinks about Darth Vader.
Right.
Just because you love it and it's a part of your life doesn't mean that these people share your passion daily in and out. And also, it's weird. Sometimes people want to talk guitars with me who are not actually having anything to do with guitars. And it's like I spend so much time with them. It's like, can we talk about mixed martial arts or something?
Okay, so now here's a question. When people come and let's say, you just out in wherever, and they recognize you. Has anybody ever come, or would it be appreciated by you if somebody says, thank you for what you've done with music, for music, or whatever? Because see, for me in my head, I'm like, I said, I love music, all kinds of music. And I always say, damn, if I ran into yada, yada, blah, blah, whomever, I'm like, thank you for doing what you do. It made a difference in my life. Would that be more appreciated than like, oh my God?
I'm sure. I would imagine it would.
110%. And usually that's a quick transaction.
Okay.
A friend of mine has a great story. Eddie Van Halen was notoriously not friendly with fans.
Right.
And this guy, I worked with him. he saw Eddie on the street just walk right by him, and he chased Eddie down.
Oh my God.
This guy is like the biggest Eddie fan I know, and he literally was like, "I am so sorry." He started with an apology, which is a good way to do it, and he's like, "I will." And the guy's, "I don't have time. I don't." And he's like, "I will never get this opportunity again. Could I just please have this one photo?" And he's like, "Okay, make it quick." But deep down, if Eddie did that, that means he appreciated it.
Right.
He appreciated the hustle, but it was a quick transaction,
Right.
and it wasn't attention seeking. It wasn't like
trying to make you stop you from going from where you were originally on your way to. So.
Right.
And if he had said no,
I'm busy.
My friend would have gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
He would have let him go.
Of course.
He had to shoot his shot.
Right.
And I think, hell, I've had some fame. I remember a friend of mine told me, Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath is at Guitar World. So I did the nerd ass thing, and I stood outside for 3 hours. And when he came out, I didn't get a picture with him or anything.
Right.
But I wanted to speak to the man who kind of created me, like my musical dad. And it was a 10-second interaction, but it meant a lot to me. So I think that does have its place. But I think people also need to read the room.
Yeah.
Like if you see a guy with his kid and his wife,
and they're out to dinner,
don't
bother them. I wouldn't. Yeah, absolutely.
Don't come up to people like frantically.
That's like people coming up to me or you. Our would be like somebody from work would just show up to. Oh, by the way, sorry, I didn't mean to. Look, like just kind of something like that or whatever.
See, that's why I asked, because you've been out with me and we've gone out places and people fucking know me, man.
I told Tom that the other day. I was like, no matter where I go with him, it doesn't matter where it is.
Yeah.
Somebody knows this man.
Yeah. And then the funny
somebody knows him.
They know me by my voice. I was
or you saw someone in the Palisades. And he was like,
I can.
So you said something to them like, "What? You're not going to say hi to me?"
Yeah.
And the guy turned around. He's like,
"Oh shit!
Oh, what's up, Kenny?"
But see, I was in Jersey, bro. I was on the boardwalk in Jersey. No shit. And I've had four people that's like, Kenny, is that you? I knew it was you. I heard your fucking voice. I'm like, so that's what I'm saying. So it bugs me out. I mean, like I said, I'm like by no means any kind of famous. I just know a lot of people. But now you as a celebrity, and I'm cool. Yeah. But I'm just saying that people know you. You said you walked in the village and people knew you and such. It's
uncomfortable. It gets to a point where if you're on a date with a girl, back then, you had your girlfriend and your girls, so
right.
you had to be real careful.
Yeah.
You'd always go to the West Village with the side chicks so nobody could find you. Yes. But even then, some guy'd be walking by, and of course, when at the height of this for me was before the cell phone thing,
right?
And by the end of the cell phone thing, I mean, it was just so messy all over the place. But having that any kind of recognition, of course, now I don't look anything like I used to because, as I said, the hair's gone.
Right.
I'm married now. I've got the old bags under the
whatever, man. You're not even that old.
Yeah, no shit.
No, but
shit.
You two guys are youngsters still.
Yeah, right, yeah. You're a little wee bitty choice.
Yes, you still have plenty of time there, whippersnapper.
My world has a real short lifespan, so it's getting weird to be like the oldest guy in a friend group, because a lot of people did not make it.
Right.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
So I feel
but
like
I'm 90. I'm going to be 57 in April.
Yeah.
This man's just turned what?
I'm just 51 now.
Right.
Congratulations.
All right, so
thank you.
And trust me, it does get better.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually loving the way this has all turned out because getting to have because I showed you I'm now getting the glossy magazines with my picture in the interview and it's like, this is nice, but it goes in a drawer.
Right.
And when I want to appreciate it and get that little ego boost, I can open the drawer, look at the magazine, and then it goes away. I don't have to engage this on such a... And I don't like doing press. You guys are a lot of fun, but there's a lot of press and interviews that are just... It's obnoxious, If some guy so tell us about this song, and it gets boring.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd rather just do it in my house and create my own videos to express this and have to listen to some... person asked me the same 25 fucking questions they've asked 27 other musicians this week.
Right.
Pretending to care, they probably haven't even listened. Some of them listen to your shit. Some of the better magazines will actually listen. Some of them, they don't give a fuck. They have to interview 20 bands. They read the bio.
Right.
And you can always catch them. Like one guy the other week was like, "Oh, so it's a New York hardcore band," and I'm like, Wow, you read the outdated bio. Yeah, no. Our stuff sounds nothing like that. But cool that you're doing this interview that I have to waste my afternoon answering your dumb questions. Right. I know that's hostile, but like...
Yeah, see, like I enjoy this and I appreciate you. Thank you for coming.
No problem.
Because
this is fun.
I like this better. And like you just said, I'd rather these kind of questions in this
shooting the shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like to hear about
me. Ask you, you answer.
Right.
I talk, you talk, I talk.
So good.
Yeah.
We enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
We look forward to this.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
And there was a time when I used to love that. I'm going to talk about me. This is great. And now that the family thing has happened and I've rejoined the real world, it's like you don't think of yourself as that interesting anymore. When you're young and I'm going to be the biggest rock star in the world and you're playing the part,
right?
You love to do it because it's like it's all about me. But it's like being an 8-year-old at 30.
Right.
And now I have an 8-year-old running around and it's like
nice.
I don't want to behave like.
Did you get him a big wheel?
A big wheel.
Does he ride a bike now?
Nah, he rides a bike.
He rides a bike.
A big wheel.
Bro, come on, man. You were little. Big wheel was the best.
But see, that's how dated us now.
It doesn't matter. If I'm buying my grandson a big wheel. All right, my son's gonna put that shit together and he's gonna love it. Right?
That's the most 20th century thing in the world, right there. The big wheel.
Come on.
The big wheel, the red wagon.
Oh my God.
The big wheel was awesome. Come on, you didn't love that?
I love that. I love that shit, man. That was
well, they got a big wheel now for adults.
That's right. I remember.
That would be sick.
That's like, and you know what? Just to top it off, you should drive it with your what are those footy pajamas?
Oh, this guy onesie,
the footy pajamas.
Yeah, that's how we don't take you out.
No. I'll be wearing my.
Yeah, but they have adult footy pajamas.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Tom,
scary.
are you even allowed to go out?
Fetish was last week. Hello.
Yeah.
Are you on the program of not going out anymore?
Well, he's got. How old is your son now? He's
5.
Yeah,
5.
Little.
See,
you guys got little ones.
No,
My kids are all. We're past that.
Shit. Like, haha, we're done. We can go out. You got to ask permission.
Yeah,
and find a babysitter and shit. So that's our time today, guys. So
we got to wrap it up.
Yes, I appreciate.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming here.
Yeah, thank you. For great.
I'm gonna do just a cheesy plug because my record label, my record label is going to force me to do this and shoot me in the back if I don't. Just AERIKVON. Google it. Search it on Spotify. It's everywhere. I'm very easy to find on the internet. So that's it.
Awesome.
That's what we need. Yes.
Thank you guys so much. It was a good time.
Thank you. Awesome. I appreciate you being here, man. That was great.
Of course.
Yes. Tom, awesome, bro. You're the man.
Yes.
Tom, it's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
And he's got the coolest last name if you just
Ramage.
Say it right.
Rampage.
Now everybody knows the Jersey guy's last name.
Yeah.
I say it every.
Do you?
No.
Oh, you do say it. Stupid.
Yeah.
Hello.
They don't know how to spell it, so
I'm not a smart man.
Keep smoking that
I know what love is.
Yeah. That's great. So thank you, everybody, for listening. I appreciate you. Love, peace, and hair grease. See you next time.
Live long and prosper.
And go vegan.
Thank you, guys.
Over and out.
There you go. My man. I love you, bro.